Hey BookTube, it's Tara, and I hope you guys are doing well. For those of you that are confined to your four walls, I hope you are maintaining good spirits and your sanity. I can only imagine what that's like. I know right now for me, I kind of wish I had the opportunity to stay at home a couple days. I am still working myself because I work in the critical trades industry, so nothing in my life as far as work is concerned has changed, except my son is now out of school for the rest of the year because of this. So that's the only change in our life right now, and that is an adjustment, especially for those that have children. I'm sure you can understand where I'm coming from with the whole e-learning situation and how we're trying to navigate that and best help our son. Anyway, hope you guys are healthy. Hope you guys are well. As far as my Friday Reads video, I have 3 books that I will be finishing up and continuing to read this weekend. First of which is A Good Neighborhood by Therese and Fowler. And as I've said before, this book follows 2 families. One, a single family, a black woman, Valerie, her biracial son, Xavier, and the other family, the Whitmans, white, mom, dad, and 2 daughters. And the Whitmans move into the backyard of Valerie, so they're her new neighbors. And they come from money, they're well off. Because Brad Whitman owns a HVAC company and he's made millions off of it. So they tore down the old house, built up this brand new structure that Valerie feels is too big for 4 people. But the story I feel right now, or maybe where it's going, is that it's going to focus around an oak tree. I feel that there will be a bit of racism in this book at some point because they do take the time to point out the fact that Valerie is a black woman, and that her son is biracial, and that, you know, her son and the Whitman's daughter, Juniper, are developing a relationship. I also feel right now at this point, and I'm only on page 79, but I feel like there may be some incest in this book as well. Not with Valerie and her son, but with Brad Whitman and his daughter Juniper. There's just some things that's happened thus far that there's no explanation for them. But Juniper's attitude has taken a turn, and the relationship that Juniper and Brad Whitman have as stepdaughter and stepfather is just kind of, I don't know, strained or weird, or I don't know. I feel there's something going on there. But to talk more about the black woman, Valerie, she studies ecology, and she's a professional woman. She works as a professor teaching about plants and trees and things of that nature. So she knows a lot about nature, and you get a lot of that education in this book. She has an 80-year-old oak tree in her backyard, and the book will tell you that oak trees, their roots will spread hundreds of feet out. So when the Whitmans decide they're going to build a new foundation, of course, you know, with a new swimming pool and a new fence and this big house, Valerie's concerned. You know, she's thinking, she's checking that tree every day, making sure that nobody hit a root, you know, down on their property that could cause the tree to be distressed, because she has a grand relationship with this tree. We don't go right now, I'm so early in the book, it doesn't go into too much depth behind the history of the tree, but there's going to be drama, I'm sure, later on in the book involving the tree, involving her son, involving Juniper. It's good so far. It is good, and it's right now setting up the story as to what will transpire later on in the book. So it's good so far. Second book I am reading and am very excited about and am loving right now is a book called Monday's Not Coming by Tiffany D. Jackson. Tiffany D. Jackson also wrote the book Allegedly, which I read back in October. And her writing style, it engages you into the story, into the characters. She builds a relationship to where you feel that you know these characters, you know their background, you are vested in what's going on. So, to talk about Monday's Not Coming, the story follows a young girl named Monday who comes up missing, and no one seems to care or notice except her best friend Claudia. And these two young girls are in high school. So the story jumps from, before she went missing, and I guess maybe after she went missing, but we don't know why she's missing. We don't know what's going on with her. We don't know what happened. I suspect there is foul play in her household. I suspect there is abuse because her mother seems like an abusive woman, a mean woman. Monday would come to school with bruises on her back, with bite marks on her shoulders. She would come to school disheveled, clothes all messed up and wrinkly, looking dirty sometimes. I feel like Monday and her family probably lived in the projects or something adjacent to a project-like area. So her friendship with Claudia was very important, in that Claudia came from almost a different world. Claudia has two parents in the household, nice clean house in the suburb, supportive parents, the whole bit. But Monday was very protective of Claudia. Monday was helping Claudia with a secret as far as Claudia's education was concerned. Monday was Claudia's only friend because Claudia struggled with making friends. She had bullies at school. She struggled with a learning disability, so when Monday comes up missing, this is very traumatic for Claudia, and she's on this, I don't want to say goose chase, but she's going to the police station. She's trying to dig through school records. She needs to know what has happened to Monday and why does no one care. I'm halfway through the book. I want to know what happened to Monday. I want to know where is this girl, because I'm vested now. Also, kind of a spoiler, but not really. We learned that the last book Monday checked out of the library was Flowers in the Attic. Apparently that has something to do with maybe where this is headed. I never read the book Flowers in the Attic. I saw the movie as an adolescent, and I really don't remember it. The only thing I remember about that movie is a girl getting whipped. And you could hear the cracking of the whip, like, echoing outside the house. That's literally the only thing I remember about that movie. So maybe I need to look up the synopsis to try to gather what's really going on with Monday. But excellent book so far. I promise I will probably give it 5 out of 5 stars. I'm loving it. Last book for me this weekend that I'm finishing up is Erotic Stories for Punjabi Widows. And loving this book too. Picked it up because I wanted to hear the erotic stories. It follows a young girl named Nikki who signs up to be a teacher for older Indian women, widows, to help teach them English and writing. And throughout the course of trying to teach these women, she learns that the women like to gossip, and they come across this, I guess, erotic novel, become kind of invested in the story that they read in this novel, and start creating erotic stories on their own, fantasizing these stories, and it becomes this thing. Every class they get together and there's this new erotic story that another woman has made up. It also dives deeper into the storyline of what's going on with some of these Indian women personally and what they're struggling with. I will say, I've read about, this is my third book that I've read concerning the Indian culture. First one being A Thousand Splendid Suns. Second one being A Woman Is No Man. And then now this one. And I come across the same trope often in these books about how women are second to men, women are expected to obey and to not challenge and to accept the life that is given to them. They're married off very young, arranged marriages. They are not expected to protest to these things and, expected to follow suit. And when they do step up and protest, they are, I'm trying to say this carefully, I don't want to say abused, but I take it as abuse. If their husband decides he's going to beat you or slap the hell out of you or whatever because you didn't listen to him or you didn't do something the way he wanted you to do it. And then the older women perpetuate this behavior that the younger women should just obey and be submissive and obedient and, the whole bit. And it's so different than, our American culture and, the women, us, and how, we women have our own opinions and our own way of we're very strong-willed and strong-headed. So it's different, but it's constant is what I'm getting at. Anyway, just want to bring up that similarity in the tropes, what I've noticed. So those are my 3 books this weekend. I have still yet to do, I'm going to attempt to do an April TBR. I'm also going to do my March wrap-up, which will be out hopefully next week. And then I'm also attempting to document a reading vlog on this book and my thoughts. So that will be spoilery because as I read, I'm giving my thoughts and giving synopsis and telling you what's happening in a whole bit. So that's in the works as well. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't and you want more content. And please comment on what you're reading this weekend. I love to hear it. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.